Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing another suppressor video for you guys, and we are going to be specifically talking about the CGS Hydra AL. So they do have a couple CGS Hydras out there. Again, this one being the AL version is just the solid black and is rated for 22 long rifle. Now I've had a chance to shoot this on a few different firearms, both pistols and rifles, and if you want the short and sweet version, I'm really impressed with these enough so to buy one myself. But if you want to see a little bit more about it, if that's all you need to know, then I guess that's all you need to know. But if you want to see me qualify that statement and explain the features of this and what I think the overall performance of this is, definitely stick around for that. But it's just a very simple end-user serviceable 22 suppressor that uses standard baffles. Now, if you guys have seen before, I did do a review of the CGS Helios, which is a 5.56 can, and I was really impressed by that, but my biggest sticking point was the price. These things, I think, are exact polar opposite end of the spectrum, and I think one of the best features of these is the price. So I've had a chance to shoot a couple different 22 suppressors so far while dealing with Silencer Shop, and I guess full disclosure, this was provided to me by Silencer Shop for testing, and then I'm going to be sending it back as soon as I'm done editing this video. But again, working with Silencer Shop, I've had a chance to shoot quite a few different 22 suppressors, and all of them have been really good so far, but I haven't necessarily found one that I felt was ready for me to make that leap and finally bite the bullet and go ahead and make the investment into one. Not that they were bad, just at the time it wasn't right or the price just wasn't super appealing. This one, however, obviously changed that. So just to run you through what my experience with this thing overall has been, I've tested it on a couple different pistols, like I said, being the 22-45 Light Mark III, so not the newer Mark IV version. I've also run it on a Glock 44 as well as a Ruger American bolt-action rifle. Now, most of the shooting with the Glock 44, and I guess I should let you know, this is actually the second time I'm filming this review. I did it before the same day I was shooting it on the Glock 44. However, I didn't realize it, but my microphone was not recording the entire day. So almost all of the footage, basically as soon as I attached my microphone to get better audio, I don't have audio from. So you'll see footage of me shooting it on the Glock 44, but almost no audio from that. But sound-wise, it was very similar to the 22-45, which you will get audio from. But even then, the audio in these videos is very misleading compared to what you hear in person. But all that to say, it worked really, really well. So you just have your standard 1/2x28 threads back here, so you can thread this onto pretty much all 22 long rifle threaded barrels, and the ones that aren't that usually have an adapter to 1/2x28, so you can thread these things on. And it's nice and thin, so you don't have to worry about clearing iron sights. And then it's nice and lightweight, so whether it's on a handgun or on the end of a rifle, it's a very manageable package to attach to the end of a gun. But on those guns, everything worked really, really well, had really good reliability. So some of the, especially the Glock 44 has this apparent terrible reputation for reliability with the lighter weight bullets. I was only shooting Federal Bulk Pack 36 grain stuff with the suppressor. Ran great, also ran great on the 22-45 again. On the Ruger American, being a longer rifle version, using the standard bulk pack ammo, it would go supersonic, but I did bring out some subsonic ammo to be able to run that as well. And I can say on a bolt action, it was about, with subsonic ammo, sounded about like a staple gun. So real good sound reduction on a 22. Now 22s don't need a whole lot of help to get really quiet with a suppressor. So I see a lot of companies doing a lot of extravagant stuff with 22 suppressors that I personally feel is mostly unnecessary. Some of those features are really cool, and for the people who need those features, it's great to have it. But for me, I just need a real simple suppressor for a 22 long rifle, and this really fits that bill very well, again, at an appealing price. So as far as what it comes with, so one of the cool things about the Helios was all the stuff it came with like a really big, nice hard case, a bunch of different attachment methods. It was a very complex can, but again, $1,500 MSRP. was kind of hard to swallow. This comes in a much more humble little cardboard box here. However, it does have all the stuff you need. It comes with the manual, comes with your disassembly tool, and right now I have the thread protector for my Ruger American in there, since that's what this suppressor was on most recently. So it comes with really everything you're going to need on a 22 long rifle can. And again, like I said, the disassembly tool, because as any 22 long rifle can should be, this is end user serviceable. Now, the cool thing about this compared to some other cans out there is you can actually disassemble it from either end. So depending on if one side is stuck on there or not, if you get it carbon locked on there from not cleaning it often enough, you can have the tool that gets on this muzzle end, or I guess what would be the muzzle end of it, or I guess the tip of it, because this, I guess, is attached to the muzzle. But you get what I'm saying. You have the tool that attaches here, or you have the texturing back here to be able to loosen this up. And then, so whatever side you can get off, you can then just push the baffle stack through out that end. And all the baffles come apart, makes it very easy to clean, makes it very easy to service, and then put back together. Now, with the baffles, I did actually talk to someone over at CGS about the design and theory behind these, and he said that one of the things you can do is basically the way the baffles lock together, you can actually offset them 90 degrees, which gives you 4 different potential locking positions. And he said that you can actually play around with that and get different levels of reduction or different sound quality levels by messing around with that. I honestly didn't mess around with that too much because it sounded good just kind of the way it was. And one of the other things he said was to talk about the first round pop. And when he said that, I hadn't necessarily paid attention to the first round pop because I'd already done some shooting with it. But in my opinion, from what I was able to experience with the guns that I shot it on, I did not notice any discernible first round pop. So for those of you who don't know, first round pop, typically, with a lot of suppressors out there, the first round through the suppressor is going to be a little bit louder than the subsequent rounds through it. Some suppressors are better at handling that than others. I did not notice it. If I had a sound meter, maybe there might have been a measurable difference, but to my human ear, both with and without hearing protection, I didn't personally notice any. Now, speaking of hearing protection, like I said, without hearing protection, that 22 bolt gun actually sounded like a staple gun. I actually shot the Ruger American with subsonic ammo with the suppressor attached to it with hearing protection, and I actually got worried that I had a squib load when I pulled the trigger because it didn't sound even loud enough for it to be a suppressed 22. So I actually pulled the bolt out and looked through the barrel to make sure that there wasn't still a round in the barrel, because it was that quiet with hearing protection plus the suppressor. So I guess for what that's worth, just again, really quiet. So like I alluded to at the beginning of the video, I'm actually going to be buying one of these. So I work here at Mazama Sporting Goods in Eugene, Oregon, and we are a dealer for Silencer Shop. If you saw the video I did walking through how to do the Silencer Shop kiosk, it was here in store that I did that. But because we're a Silencer Shop dealer, I'm able to go ahead and order these myself since I have to send this one back. And I think this is always subject to change, but as of right now, at the time of filming this video, these things are $250 through Silencer Shop, so extremely affordable. It's honestly one of the cheapest 22 suppressors from Silencer Shop, which is why I wanted to test it, because after going from a $1,500 CGS can, I wanted to see if a $250 can was still good. And again, in my opinion, it's good enough that I'm actually making the jump and literally putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to be buying one of these. Well, I've already bought one. I'm just waiting for the suppressor to get here and the Form 4 and all that fun wait process. But I have already put the money down to order one of these myself for what that's worth. Now, if you're looking for something that's going to be rated up to like 22 Magnum, 17 HMR, FN57, this is not the can for you. But if you are looking for just a nice, simple, lightweight, and affordable suppressor for your 22 long rifle pistols or rifles, I think that this is definitely one worth looking at. Again, I've tested other good ones, and they have good features. But again, as far as bang for your buck and just a nice, simple suppressor, I'm really, really impressed by the CGS Hydra here. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and throw those in the comment section below. I know in my last CGS video, a lot of people with those suppressors sounded off in the comments, and I really do appreciate that. If you guys have a CGS Hydra or any other 22 long rifle suppressor that you like or recommend, definitely throw that in the comment section down below. You should never just take my word for anything, especially when it comes to suppressors, because you can't fully appreciate the sound quality through the video. So if you have experience with them, throw that in the comment section down below. And if you're interested in buying one of these, check the comments to see if there's other people who can also share their opinion on it. Again, just because my word is only as good as my own experience, and there's a lot of other variables at play that might affect what people's opinion are on these. So definitely check that out as well. I do want to say thanks to my patrons for making a video like this one possible. While Silencer Shop did provide the suppressor for me to test, ammo's not cheap, and it's especially subsonic, like good quality subsonic stuff. So because of my patrons, I was able to justify getting a bunch of ammo to run through this suppressor. So I appreciate them doing that. Because of that, I post all my content over there early, as well as doing some exclusive content like range updates on guns. We do some exclusive, like I said, do some exclusive stuff over there. We also do live streams, usually at least monthly. So a bunch of stuff going on over there. So if any of that stuff sounds interesting to you, or you just want to financially support the channel, definitely head over to the link to my Patreon down in the description below. But anyway, with all that being said, as always, I hope you got something out of this video, and I really appreciate you watching.